takes the pressure off Pakistan to eventually agree to a fissile materials production moratorium, because right now they have to do that eventually or India will just outrun them. So wouldn't it be more productive, rather than asking the Congress and the administration to ask India to have a moratorium right now, to put a higher priority on having Pakistan have a moratorium so the whole thing works out?
The problem is the following. We had run a fast breeder test reactor for 11 years without an accident, without converting into a neutron generator as the French have done, without sending the designers to jail as the Japan had done. We had operated our fast breeder test reactor successfully, and the prototype test reactor is being built. To turn around and say don't touch plutonium because we think it's a bomb material, we are saying it's a bomb material plus a fuel material. We talk about the energy potential of plutonium is 1,300 megawatt year per ton compared to 7 megawatt year per ton in the natural uranium. Why can't we do that? And that is going to be our problem. Is we are 10 years we have a problem. The gap is between right now what we have and 10th year fast breeder reactor will start producing power. To turn around and say we may consider giving the fuel to you but seal your future, I think it's not right.
Can I respond? I love your Machiavellian reasoning there. But why on earth would Pakistan agree to cut off fissile material production without our having offered it the same deal that we've offered India?
That's a rhetorical question. Next question, who's here?
It's not a unilateral moratorium.
Yeah.
Colonel Datta, Foreign Policy Association. I wish to know how is the present India-US nuclear pact is compared to what has been reached with Israel, Japan and South Korea, and why has this pact got so much of publicity?
Someone like to speak to that? George?
Yeah. No, I'm happy to. But I want to answer Cliff real quickly. The idea of an Indian moratorium on unsafeguarded fissile material production is not that it would be unilateral. It would be joining the 5 and all other countries in such a moratorium. So it would have to be Pakistan and Israel before they would undertake it. Which goes a little bit to Colonel Datta's question. What's being proposed? Well, let me back up. Japan and South Korea are parties to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty that don't have nuclear weapons, have committed never to acquire nuclear weapons, okay? So cooperation with them, nuclear cooperation with them is open and available as it is to all countries in principle that have signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty and committed not to have nuclear weapons, etc. Okay, so let's put them aside for a minute because they're in a totally different category. Now, India and Israel are in a similar category because these are 2 of the 3 countries with Pakistan that have not signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. So they didn't ever promise that they wouldn't build nuclear weapons, and surprise, they built nuclear weapons. But the rules that the rest of the world, so 180 odd other countries agreed to, was we're not going to sell nuclear technology to countries that haven't signed the NPT and agreed not to acquire nuclear weapons. So they're in that category. Those are the rules that say we can't supply India. Now, what's being offered to India, nobody has contemplated offering Israel, nor has Israel asked for what India wants. In fact, a lot of the things that Ambassador Schaefer said would be the great benefits, that we provide all this technology because we're going to get all of these tight export controls and nuclear suppliers group adherence and so on from India. Israel's voluntarily done that without asking anything. They just do that as a matter of policy because they think it's what responsible countries do who have certain nuclear capabilities. Israel's also not asking for nuclear technology to generate energy. Now, there's a big difference. India has 1 billion people. Israel doesn't. India has tremendous energy needs where it has to scour all sorts of technology to meet those needs. Israel doesn't. So there's an asymmetry in the requirements that India has, but Israel has done a lot of